Call the September meeting of the Grayson County Board of Supervisors meeting to order. Mr. Smith, if you.
Chairman, let's start out tonight with just a moment of silence for what happened yesterday, and then today marks 9/11. The day that our nation never forgets. Let's just take a moment of silence for that, just for a minute. Father, thank you for the day that's been given, and we do pray for the tragedies that have happened years ago, and the families that are still grieving over that loss, and then the loss yesterday. That family, no doubt, is grieving. We pray that you be with all, and be with our board tonight as they do business for Grayson County. Thank you for each one that serves. Thank you for the citizens that have shown up. We pray that you just continue to protect our county and be with us and bless it. For it's in your name we pray. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Especially given the crowd tonight, I'd like to remind you of the decorum. At this time, the approval of the agenda and consent agenda, I believe we have a motion to change.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chair, I would move to, under the closed session portion of the agenda, to be 2 items for discussion. First being to discuss personnel matter pursuant to 2.2-37118(1) of the Code of Virginia involving county staff. And another item would be to discuss prospective business or industry or the expansion of an existing business or industry pursuant to 2.2-37118(4) of the Code of Virginia.
Have a motion on the table. Second. Motion second, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We have no public hearings. We have at this time a report or presentation request from the Grayson County Fair Report of Michelle Pridgen and Elizabeth Ash.
So this is a video that recaps, has some pictures and videos to recap this year's fair.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, here we are. Thank you very much for this opportunity to talk about the Grayson County Fair. From when we started back in 2018, this is actually our 6th year. we missed a COVID year, that it has grown from, I think we had 2 tables of exhibits. We joined in with the livestock show, and that was pretty much it. And now we have 2 full days. And our attendance this year, I'm jumping ahead, and granted, Tim was estimating, but it was over 2,000 people. The parking lot stayed full. So, and we've added lots of new events, and it really is turning into a real fair. So I will let Elizabeth talk about some of our other data.
So this is just kind of a summary. We like to show that the fair is providing some economic stimulant to the county. So this year we had 28 vendors in total. So we had 15 commercial vendors, 8 nonprofit, government, educational entities, and then 5 food vendors. The commercial vendors, they all reported really good sales and increased traffic. They also said they would be interested in coming back again. So that's always good to hear. Whenever people sign up, we never really know and figure to tell them. They always ask, how many people do you have? We never really know, because it's always a guess. We can tell them what we had last year, but we never know. So we like to see positive output there. As you can see there, the nonprofits did really well. The American Chestnut Association was there.
It's a new project in cooperation with the American Chestnut Foundation, the Matthews Farm, and the guy we're working with is actually a citizen scientist that's just really into chestnuts. And given the history in our area, we had a lot of interest at the fair. So next year we'll be starting, I think this year we spread nuts to 20 people. Next year we'll be able to do that again, and hopefully that'll help speed up the chestnut research in our area.
And you can see there, Barbara Moncrief and her team, they lead the quilting section of the fair, and they go all out. You can see she gave away 90 quilt kits, which I think is a way to kind of teach people how to start quilting, sewing. So they did awesome. And then the food vendors, they all reported doing really well. Most of them are all food trucks, other than the Elk Creek Rescue Squad they set up inside the building. But I do feel like we've kind of hit our sweet spot with the food vendors. Sometimes they say that there's too much competition, but this year I feel like we really hit our sweet spot. Everybody seemed to do really well. So there you can see our sponsors. A few years ago, we changed it so that we can have different tiered sponsorship, and for each tier, obviously, you get different incentives. So we had 7 gold, that's over $1,000 sponsorship, 15 silver, 12 bronze, and then 25 Friends of the Fair. And then in our sponsorship, so this year we had over $16,000 in monetary sponsorship. But then we also have a ton of in-kind donations to the fair that aren't monetary. We approximate those somewhere between $7,500 to $10,000. It's hard to really put a number on that. We always have to give a shout out to Bottomley's for letting us use their facility. The facility's great. And then the time of their employees, Tim Brown and Carlos, they all do a great job and be there to support us the whole weekend. Gives everything that we need. Grayson Highland Farms and Eagle View donate all the kids' activities every year. The sawdust was donated by Southwest Farm Supply and Wood Grain this year, and then we also get free radio ads also. So we're very thankful for all the businesses and individuals who have sponsored us in years past and who continue to sponsor us. You all are really the reasons, along with the county, that we're able to grow like we are. So thank you to everybody. And I can't end without thanking our volunteers too.
And we had 87 volunteers this year. Before I get to that, so one thing that our volunteers also do is Lynn McCleary and Rebecca Roberts went down, or actually over and up, to the Virginia Association of Fair Meetings. And that is a 2-day event. And I was talking to Rebecca about it. They're in like different classes and meeting people from 9 in the morning till 9 at night. And so they learn all about fairs and they come back to us all excited. And
they see all the other fairs and talk about what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, so we did get recognition for our Facebook and fair posters this year, and also a white ribbon for our radio ad. One thing that directly came out of that fair meeting is we added a magic show this year. That was one of the things that they had said was really popular, and it was. He did a great job. The Friday all day, he was just wandering around talking to people, pulling money out from behind kids' ears and just being silly. And he had a full audience watching his entire show, so that was new this year. Also, Allison Brown did a great job, our 4-H agent, adding a lot of new kids activities and contests. And the learning lab was just the coolest thing. You can see everybody with their virtual reality goggles on. I mean, that's something I've always heard about but never done. And so this actually gave everybody, and there were a lot of people my age in there too. You put on the goggles and it actually takes you underwater in the Clinch River. There's a guy who's doing mussel research. So just having that exposure to that kind of technology, I thought was amazing. The costume race that you saw in the video was just absolutely hilarious. And so our kids' activities did increase our youth contest and youth attendance. And as Elizabeth mentioned, by actually curating the food vendors, we had fewer this year, but we had a better mix of product. And I think the customers and the vendors were both happier. As I mentioned, our fair numbers went way up. Also, our fair entries went up. Last year, we had 342. This year, we had over 500. And our youth participation went up from 32 to 108. A lot of those were a poster contest that we sponsored through Grayson Land Care. And I was able, since I teach at the school garden, we got all of those kids to enter. But just by exposing kids much younger and giving them a reason to come to the fair, that's really made a difference. Youth also participate in the Stockman's contest. The dog show stayed about steady, but what we did this year is we moved it to Friday evening, and the bleachers that you see were from the dog show. It was packed. So that change in time really made a difference. The quilts were about the same. We had more people voting. The hay bale contest was a little bit lower, but as you saw, the creativity was still there, and that really helps advertise this fair. Elizabeth mentioned the sponsorships, and as I mentioned, we had 87 volunteers, which is over 3,000 volunteer hours. A lot of those were from county employees, which we really appreciate. And also our social media posts continue to attract more attention and help build folks coming to the fair.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting that the number of views, we had 87,000 views on our Facebook page the month of the fair. I mean, that's pretty incredible for little Grayson County, I thought.
Absolutely. So, and the Carroll County ladies always come over and help me judge, and I return the favor. And they're always impressed, given the size of our community and how young our fair is, what we're able to do. So it's nice to get that kind of feedback. Any questions? Oh, you still have.
Yeah, I just have just a thank you to you all, supporting our fair since its very beginning, and continuing to support us. We truly couldn't do it without you all. I want to thank you all who do come out to the fair. It's great for you all to get to see it firsthand and see where your contribution goes towards and get to experience it.
And especially the people in the donkey booth.
Yes. Anybody who wants to volunteer for the donkey booth next year, we are open, supervisor or not. Anybody who wants to. But anyway, thank you all again so much. We truly couldn't do it without you. Last year we requested $6,000 for the county sponsorship for our fair. We would recommend us to keep it at that. We don't feel like we need more at this time until we start growing more. So thank you all.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah,
Thank you.
appreciate
Y'all got anything?
that. No, we should have brought some of those tomatoes.
Yeah, that looks juicy.
I'll just, like I said, I was there, it was really good, and I know it took a lot of hard work and coordination with many people in there. So
You can really tell it's growing too. Every year, the attendance, I'm like, wow. And this year, literally, we had to look, every time we leave and come back, we had to find a spot. So
Yeah,
that's great.
we changed our hours a little bit, and I think that really helped.
Mhm.
We were also worried about school not being in session and how that would affect us, but honestly, I think it helped.
Probably helped.
It definitely helped the attendance, so.
Although the one thing I was talking to Monkey, they're one of the folks who do a lot of in-kind sponsorship.
Mhm.
They had given out
Vouchers.
and she actually said they had less of those used this year than last. And when people had come into Frosty Monkey trying to use them, and she said, no, they're just for the fair. And she felt like a lot of people actually were still on vacation. They took that weekend to go out of town. So it's kind of a mixed bag as to how to get more kids, and especially since we're challenged by the school schedule, which we're kind of locked into with the livestock show. But all in all, yeah, that's growing, and we really appreciate your support.
Well, I want to thank you guys because for minimal effort from the county, you've grown this thing to, I mean, where else in Grayson County throughout the year can you have a gathering of 2,000 people with very little to do? Couple of suggestions. One, let's not miss out on opportunities where there may be some grant funding to have us a permanent location. I know we've talked about this in the Ag Advisory meeting. And the other thing is you would have more people who would want to be in the Dunkin' booth if you would warm the water up.
Noted. It's not fun, it's not fun. For the spectators, it's not
So,
fun.
thank you all both for all that you do. That was an awesome fair.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I heard it warmed up after you went in first.
The sheriff tried to warm it for you.
I think he's calling you hot.
Okay, we don't have any registered speakers. We have no public comment. Old business, we have none. New business.
Okay, got a few things in new business. The first item we have is, this is another resolution for an opioid settlement. There are a total of 7 different small manufacturers, not all of them are in the state of Virginia, but we have been advised to move forward with this resolution as well and participate. There's 2 pieces to this. There's a resolution which obviously we take action on. And then there's Exhibit K, which I placed in your packet, and I'm eligible. I can sign that as the administrator. But first, I guess the first thing is the resolution, which would allow us to just continue to receive funding once this settlement takes place. If you remember, last week was the Sackler settlement, and this is 7 of the companies that they've settled with for a couple of $1 billion. So it's
Okay, we have our resolution in the packet, and unless there's objection, we'll waive the resolution. I think we'll do these separately. So this time I entertain a motion to adopt the resolution approval of opioid settlement with manufacturers, including Exhibit K.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? This is a roll call vote, I believe. Mr. Anderson.
Aye.
Mr. Ash.
Aye.
Mr. Cornett. Aye. Ms. Thompson.
Aye.
I'm also aye. Next resolution is nationwide 457.
Yes, sir. All this is an additional option for county employees to have a savings plan. There's no dollars from the county that are helping. There's no matching dollars. It just gives them another avenue to save for the future. So it didn't cost us anything from an admin side or county funded side. So we thought it would be okay to offer this to employees if they want to save beyond what the VRS allows. And so that's it. But it does require, it requires a resolution and action by the board.
Okay. Unless there's objection, we'll waive the reading of the resolution. This time I will entertain a motion to approve the resolution nationwide 457.
So.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Did you get that, Mr. Smith? Okay. All those, excuse me, this is a roll call vote. Mr. Anderson?
Aye.
Mr. Ash?
Aye.
Mr. Cornett? Aye. Ms. Thompson?
Aye.
I'm also aye. All right, Mount Rogers Community Services Performance Contract Agreement.
Yes, sir. Each year they send us their contract, performance contract. They also place their amendments in it. And so if you want to take a minute to look through that, if you look into like the first page, it has to be made available for public review and solicit any public comments for a period of 30 days, which we have done. We have posted this. We submit it to the board. The board can take action as an approving body and say, yes, there is no signature line on it. If we take no action, they deemed it approved and reviewed. So if you have any questions that you need me to get back to, otherwise it is, it's up to the board whether they want to take action to say, yes, we agree, or the board can take no action on it.
Has everybody had a chance to look at the amendments, or would you like more time?
Okay.
You- Mr. Anderson?
Mr. Chair, I abstain from.
Got you. Mr. Ash, you got anything? Okay, and this action requires approval of the amendments.
I think that's what they're asking for, yes.
Okay. Well, this time, I would entertain a motion to accept or deny the amendments to the performance contract agreement with Mount Rogers Community Services.
So
Which one?
to accept.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, Mr. Board, Meadowcreek project performance proposal.
Okay, we sent this out last week. The things that I would highlight on this is the property that we jointly own with Galax IDA. Our EDA owns it and Grayson owns it. This is the metrics that Rooftop is working towards, I would say, at this point in time. If you look at the child care center requirements and metrics, we have them add on the bottom the slots positions created by this project. That'd be 54 additional child care positions in Grayson and Galax for this project. The other obvious, the other big piece of this is a senior housing requirement. It's 12 to 15 units serving 12 to 30 residents. The big piece will be whether they can get grant approvals to move forward on this. It's really, I guess, in my mind at this point, is the board comfortable with moving forward and allow them to continue to try to push this project forward? Are there objections to that? We do need to have some discussions in closed sessions about pricing on the land and what the board would be comfortable with if they are able to obtain these grants and how we price the land out. So that I think would be best to have in closed session, but certainly this is public information, and if there's any questions from the board. The timelines are on there. You can see the milestone timelines on really, I guess, if you turn over to page 3, October 25 is some of the grant work. The site work will start January 26th. I don't want to read them all, but you can kind of see where they're headed.
If we're going to talk about this in closed session, can we reserve action until after that?
Yep, we sure can.
Everybody okay with that until we hear it in detail?
Yeah.
All right. Is that all, Mr. Board?
Yes, sir.
Board appointments.
Okay. Department of Social Services, 4-year term. Kristen has requested another person, and she's asked that Susie Funk be appointed. Susie obviously used to be at school, and she's said she would be happy to serve. Emergency Services, we have a 1-year term. Mr. Cornett has requested to be removed. He's got other plans, and so I don't know. Historically, this has been a board supervisor. Obviously, we have quite a bit of change coming to the board. Certainly, the staff can serve on the interim at this time if that's what you desire. And then the Twin County Commission, Mr. Carrick's resignation letter is in there, and we had one new applicant, and his name is Larry Mike Diamond, who resides in Galax, Virginia.
I actually have 2 in my packet.
Okay.
I see as well.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think that other one was there.
The other one was from last
last month.
as well. He
Yeah,
was
okay.
Riley, right, just as a reminder, that was Riley Drawley. He lives in Woodlawn, Virginia. We talked about that a little bit, to see if you're interested. There's no requirement that the individual who serves on commissions or live in Grayson. That's a decision for the board. If you'd like either one of those.
Well, I can I speak, Mr. Chair?
Absolutely.
I think they need to live in Grayson, whether they're required to or not. If we, we got into this with the airport where whoever was representing Grayson County had committed funds or pledged funds or whatever the case may be that we would give, and it didn't come through this board.
Yeah.
So I think it very minimum, should be a county resident. And if we're if our efforts is to get out of the commission, which I think is a desire of most of the citizens, we need to probably have someone that's aware of that as well. And these applicants seem to be pretty eager to be involved with the airport, which they can. I mean, they live and reside somewhere else, pay taxes somewhere else. So it's my thought, Mr. Chair.
If it pleases the board, let's just, unless you have something else, Mr. Board, let's start at the top of the list that we've been given, Department of Social Services Board. I have 4-year term. I have a question about that because we, as a former board member of that, does this board get to decide how big their board is? And is it in their bylaws that we can add more board members? That's the discussion that we had early on, and I want to make sure that we're allowed to do this.
It's a good question.
I think the issue that,
She was
Pridgen was having a quorum and having enough for an offset vote. I think me and,
Susan Mitchell.
Susan Mitchell, thank you, senior mom, we're the only ones at the last meeting, so I think it's not a very bloated board anyway.
She certainly mentioned the problem of having a quorum. I did not read up on the bylaws to know, to answer your question, Chair.
So it is an additional position. It's not replacing.
So all the boards that we serve on, it requires one board of supervisors, and for us to put 2 on it, it seems to me it might be a little overreach. If we need to add additional board members,
No,
This would be for Susan Funk,
This is
who's retired
from
from,
the vice
Susan
principal.
Funk, yeah, not a board member.
she's just a citizen.
oh,
Susie.
I heard that wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's okay, but along those same lines, if and Susie's a great person, would be a great fit, don't get me wrong, but it would be like Steve asking for additional board member up here and picking it. I don't know that that's always.
Well, and the problem I see with that is if you add 1, you could potentially still not have a quorum. If you have 4, it could be a 2-2 split. So we either need to go to 5 or we need to encourage participation in the board meetings. Adding 1 more doesn't solve the quorum problem.
It probably makes it one more of a problem. One more,
Well,
it's hard to get everybody.
Wouldn't it increase it potentially would increase the
Is there
participation?
another
Yeah.
member? I mean, this was my first meeting, so.
But then your quorum would go up if you add it.
You'd have to have another person.
Who is on the board?
I think the first thing we need to do, which is what Mr. Ivy said, is I need to read the bylaws.
I think we have, right now, I believe it's Brenda Sutherland, Susan Mitchell, and Mr. Hash.
I made an assumption based on the request that it was allowed. I just had not.
Well, as bad as I like to have a fast meeting, I think we'd be making a mistake to add somebody right here until we get a little more clarification.
Maybe we could look at adding like allow people to participate by phone or
We need to
something
make a
too.
motion to table.
Make it easier for people.
That's,
Just table it.
I think, yeah. Entertain a motion to table, hang on, let me get this right. Table the Department of Social Services Board 4-year term appointment until we have further clarification.
In the bylaws. So moved.
Second.
Have a motion second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, Emergency Services Commission is a 1-year term. Supervisor Cornett is headed to the moon and can't stay here with us.
Well, that was not the reason I asked to be removed. There've been conversations that people thought it was a conflict of interest to serve that on that and Grayson. So I was just, gonna allow another board member to serve.
Are you gonna withdraw that resignation?
No.
Because I did some research and delegates can serve on that commission. I'm messing with you, I'm messing with you.
I'm not a delegate.
I'm messing with you.
Well, listen,
He's trying to keep
Unless
things kosher.
Ms. Thomason or Mr. Hash is willing to do that at this. Are you willing?
I'm pretty well, I'm on several committees and stuff right now.
I don't know how it's, does their commission request it, or we just appoint one of us?
There's supposed to be a board supervisor on the commission.
Mr. Chair, when you and I came on, they were kind of doing a rotation, because they meet in each district.
Right,
So if they were in your district, you would go to that one, they
gotcha.
were in his, you'd go. That's the way it was kinda, and we were trying to get consistency, and I was new, didn't have a clue, still don't. But, so I agreed to sit on that, and then Mitchell came in with some knowledge, so.
Yeah, and then I never got put on the email list. I requested a couple times and then I think they had some maybe secretary changed, and then I missed one meeting because I didn't get the email, so.
Yeah, but they do have really good food at those meetings, I will tell you that. Mitch might want
It
to.
is every 2 months, I believe, so.
Every 2 months, so that's not bad.
Do you have any recommendation?
It is important.
Can we appoint you to the?
I would think at this time, you probably want staff based on just the amount of change we have going on until we have new board members set for the next year, and then maybe we can have a discussion earlier.
Is there any opposition for one of you guys taking those meetings from you guys?
I mean, I will just say if, I don't have any knowledge in emergency services, but if they need a supervisor, if Mike feels like I'll be here next year, so I'd be happy to do it but I'm just saying, if you
I'm
wanna do
happy for
it,
you to take it.
I don't have any knowledge of the,
You only went to medical school.
I mean, I do have emergency veterinary services under.
I guarantee
I
you
got
science
that.
There's no such thing as lifeline.
Not real sure you can.
I had
everything
first
I
aid
do.
merit, so you're ahead of me.
I guarantee your science background's better than mine.
I tell you what, let's table this.
Yeah, that's
Till
fine.
next month too.
I think that's a good call. I
It's our
think
next meeting.
that'll require a motion.
Make a motion to table the emergency services commission. Appointment.
So moved. A second.
We got a motion.
Sorry, I was asleep. Sorry.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, brings us to the Twin County Area Commission Board appointment. There's 2 in front of us. There's been discussion from Mr. Anderson that it feels like it should be a Grayson County citizen. Before we discuss it, I guess it will require a motion so we can discuss it. And I don't know.
What's the
Make a
motion?
motion to table this point.
I'm making a motion that we don't fill the appointment at this time with these.
All right, we have a motion on the table. Is there a second?
You have my motion? Or two motions.
Okay, I apologize.
I withdraw my motion.
We have a motion on the table to not fill this position at this time.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
I'll just reiterate what I said earlier. Oh, we can for a second time.
Gotcha.
I would just say of the 2 applicants that we do have, I do know, Mike, Diamond, and his family, in and around here, like, someone lived in Grayson County. Very knowledgeable in aviation, and reading his application, kind of see, he got his feet wet at Twin County, so he's kind of been been there for a couple decades, in and around that. So if we don't come up with, someone that seems more suitable that is from the county, I'm thinking these two applicants, I would lean more towards Mr. Dye.
I think maybe the board needs to give whoever they decide to put on, need to give our representative kind of guidance on what the board's opinion is of the future and what we think that looks like. So hopefully they can vote accordingly. That's just my opinion.
I know both of these guys, and I think they're both very upstanding gentlemen. Mike did, from what I understand, I didn't actually see this part of it, but he did help coordinate a lot of the, I'm pretty sure it was Mike, coordinate a lot of the flights during Halloween. Okay, that's what I thought. And Riley's a wonderful person too. Business owner in Galax in Carroll, but again, just like Mr. Anderson said, yeah, I prefer a Grayson resident. It might just be kind of hard to find someone in our county for that purpose because it's that direction. But I don't really think we can go wrong with either one of them. I probably do lean more towards Mike just because of his experience, but if we can find a Grayson resident, that'd be great.
Anybody else? So my thought is, I don't want us to put our blinders on and not put a qualified person in there just because they're not Grayson County. However, I do agree that a Grayson County citizen would speak for Grayson County taxpayer dollars going there. It's my understanding there's been a big grant to expand the airport, and I know we've had discussions about leaving the commission, but I think we probably just need to hold our powder on all of this until we see how it's going to come out. So the motion and the second on the table is to not appoint anyone to any of these two to the Twin County Airport Commission at this time. And I wonder if it might be more beneficial to just table this instead of voting on not to appoint either two. So those are my thoughts. Mr. Anderson, if you're willing to amend your,
Just to simply table it.
just to send that table.
Yeah, I'll amend the motion to table the appointment. But I would like to reiterate, if it continues to be the will of this board to get out of that commission, as we've discussed in budget sessions and everything else, I don't think it would behoove us. And these guys, no, I don't know these guys at all. They look good on paper, but that's not what this is about. This is about, do we want to keep putting money into the Twin County Airport, or do we want, these guys want to put money into it, obviously, if you read their application. No fault, that's not a bad thing for them. But if we're going in a different direction, we need somebody that's going with us in a different direction. That's just, so in saying that, I'll make the motion to table the appointments.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you all. Brings us to the county administrator's report.
Rocky, with the website comes in. So if you go to the website, if you have some time, if you go to government, click on government, you see where it says news and updates, click on that. I sent it out, I sent out an email to, this, the 50 million that's coming from the Virginia Disaster Assistance Fund. This came about 2 weeks ago, and we just kind of got a plan together to try to work this project. We worked with MRPDC, and they're going to help us from an admin side of the house and a staffing. We came up with this flyer, as you see. We have posted this throughout the county. If you're talking to folks, we put it in places like the Quick Check and the post office, and Baywood Store, and you name it. So you'll see this all around, and this will help people with the application process. Certainly, there's a call-in number. There's a bunch of different options to help people with the application process. Can you go back, please?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
Is this this is not the
Block grants.
It's not the block grant.
No, sir.
And what was the total amount of money for this grant process?
50 million.
50 million spread out from the 27
Yeah.
counties.
It was in the state budget.
So state funds, the block grant, federal funds coming through Department of Ag. Third project, EWP, we got $5 million for the creek cleanup. And we just had a meeting 2 weeks ago, is that right, Mitch, with the state on several other different avenues for recovery for farmers, for residences, for bridges. And so we'll be pushing that information out as well. This happened particularly quick, I would say. And so we're just trying to get on our feet and communicate this outward so people that have been affected can receive this information. We can help them with the application process. So we thought this was the easiest way to go about it because, as you know, we struggle with communication in the county. I've sent this from White Top to the Grant Grange to, anywhere that we can think of to freeze to try to get people to apply.
Mr. Chair, I have a question. Is any of that, can the county use any of this funding itself for the debris removal and the trash issues that we had?
It's a good question. So when we had the call to the governor's office last week, there was 3 avenues for public assistance on funds that we had exerted ourselves. And so we were going through the application process of recovering some of those funds that we exerted for Hurricane Helene. Any other questions from the board? Just so you know, if you're talking to people, if they're looking on our website, you can see right there too, there's the guidelines up there. Can you click on our guidelines, please? Yep. Second link. Oh, there you go. So there, it gives you kind of a program overview. It gives you a checklist. It's, none of these are easy processes, but this one's not, terribly bad, I would say. But anyway, all the links are on there. But if you can help us communicate, as we're trying to communicate here now, but obviously, if you can help us communicate that out, we appreciate it. That's all I have for our board.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Board. I asked before, no one requested any board of supervisors time. At this time, I would entertain a motion to go into closed session.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We're now in closed session. I just wanted to hit the gavel.
You did. Yeah.
I'll go.
Sounded great. It sounded great, Brantley.
I thought that would be like that carrot out there.
Mitch, stop the light.
What I do tomorrow? I'll take it with you. Just take it with you.